Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to ESA Winter. We have Kuru going to be running Need for Speed Most Wanted. Take it away.
Hey guys, Kuru here. Today with Need for Speed Most Wanted any percent, and I'm gonna be today co-commentated by my good friend Eden.
Yep, what's up? I'm Dustin, and I am Kuru's YouTube editor / mod / second brain. And yeah, I'll be joining Kuru today on his run, and we'll be co-commentating a little bit, and yeah, it'll be fun.
3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so first thing up is the lap glitch. This, as the name says, changes the lap number to 1 and turns off the traffic for the events that we are selecting. This is going to save us a lot of time if we don't have to actually do every single lap that the game wants us to do. So yeah, first things first, we got our car here and we're gonna go through the prologue. We just entered the city with our car, we're doing races, we're trying to get infamous. All the Most Wanted fans, they kind of have the same fantasies in their head when they started replaying this game, like what if you could have just kept this car? Or what if you could what if you could win that race against Razor?
I can actually tell you exactly what happens if you do somehow manage to win this race.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you can somehow manage it, that you finish the race before your car breaks down, and spoilers, sorry. It's basically the same prompt you get when you fail a challenge series event. It basically just says, you failed, challenge incomplete. And then you get like the results screen and then you have to restart.
So the game can't really differentiate if you win or not. It's basically if the event ends, you lose.
Yeah, pretty much. It's quite funny.
It's a good failsafe though. From a development standpoint, I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So there we go. Car broke down, we lost, but we're getting a little bit of extra cash to get our first car. And yeah, if you do have an Underground 2 save file on your system, you get 10,000 extra cash, and this will allow you to buy the fastest starter car. So yeah, with the money that we got from the first races, we got our engine upgrade, which helps out quite a bit in the beginning. And also we got a spoiler upgrade, and that will allow us to tune the aerodynamics to +5. That tuning basically increases the downforce on our car, and will help us immensely to turn at faster speeds. This is where the lap glitch is activated. Instead of doing all 3 laps after the first lap, it's just over. You gotta be careful though, you wanna be and you must be in first. Because if you're in second, you're just also gonna lose after the first lap. Eden, you know why I like Sunny the most?
Why?
What do you think?
Because he drives a Golf?
Bingo. He knows what a good car is.
I was just about to say how usually in the old route we would now, after we beat Sonny, do the boss skip, which basically skips over the next boss and straight to number 13. But the current route has kind of changed where we don't actually want to skip the next one, which is kind of crazy to think about, because if you think, you can skip Blacklist members, why wouldn't you just skip everyone? Well, not skipping Taz and then skipping everyone else is actually faster because of a few reasons.
It comes down to actually quite a few things. Like it's a mix of the events themselves end up being shorter, but also you get the heat level gifted for your car, which basically reduces the amount you spend with the cops as well.
Yeah, in the old route, most of the time was really just spent building up your heat level to the maximum heat, which is level 5. But basically you get like a message, and it's basically like, hey, here's your max heat level, enjoy.
Yeah, it is during bull.
Oh yeah, okay.
So yeah, now I must not do the boss skip. So now I'm hoping to get a cash marker, and we did actually. That's important because if you do get the cash, there's no need for us to sell our car, like the other car that we just won. Because either you get the cash, the car, or both. But at the very least, you're always gonna have enough money to keep it going. So, since we also got ourselves a suspension upgrade, we can now go for steering, handling, and ride height tuning. And all of those end up being just faster. Wait a second, I went into the wrong direction, I just noticed. It's handling -1 in the beginning. Later on, when the car gets faster, we're gonna go towards handling +1, because we need it. What I'm hoping for here is to actually find cops before the race ends. If not, that basically adds 90 seconds. So typical marathon luck here. Looks like we're not gonna get the cops. This is usually a straight up reset point. Nope, oh, there you go. He saw us after all. I gotta say that ESA purple is growing on me. Also, if you want to be scientific about it, the contrast from the car to the roads and the other traffic cars and races is very strong. So you could say it's easier to evade stuff now.
I think you're way overthinking that.
Building the hype. Let's go, Taz. I let you be the judge of his style. But that color combination is just not for me, man. I think that brown in general, independent of the rest of the car, is a pretty hard sell.
Not brown, Kuru, it's gold.
Is it now?
It's just not shiny enough.
They forgot to render the sparkle effect. Alright, this is where you're gonna see the first boss skip. Very simply, you just click the continue button on the very right and you skip one of the bosses. We do believe that's a leftover from the developers. And this is where you're gonna pick our first Junkman part, the suspension. I don't know about you, but after 16 years I still thoroughly enjoy the cop chase music.
Yeah, it holds up really well. Like, there's just so much production quality that went into the music in general. Yeah. Like, not just the chase music, but also everything else.
So, and this is my favorite escape in the game. It is a very, very reliable escape route because the cops have a hard time following you in here. And even when a chopper is on you, you will be able to break the line of sight and escape here as well. So Izzy's up next. I personally really like her RX-8. That's one of the Blacklist cars I definitely enjoyed more. And yeah, with this new route, she is, in my opinion, actually the toughest Blacklist member to beat. She rubber bands quite a lot, and she does get very close to you. Very often, especially towards the finish line. So Izzy wiped out. I don't think I've ever seen her wipe out that early in this race. Like, she's already 1.6 kilometers behind us. So much for Izzy being difficult.
Maybe you poked the oil tank like Razor did with your BMW. She's like, damn it.
It looks more like a steel rod in the steering or something. Like she couldn't turn, just straight into the wall.
And I will say I like Baron's Porsche, but there's one thing that's pretty ricey about it.
The roof scoop?
No, painted on bolts.
Oh. Then again, is it really painted on? If you look at his body kit, it might just be a bad graphic.
No, it is actually part of the livery.
All right, so that's Baron, the race, and the drag race, both done. But yeah, we're actually quite low on bounty, so usually I would escape here after the 6-minute mark, but I think we're gonna incorporate one more backup. Oh yeah, what you see there is like the car's getting invisible from time to time, because the game has a problem with memory allocation. So very often the game runs out of memory and it can't even display the textures of some cars anymore. Oh, I actually did get a triple kill there, so if I now take out... Thank you. Appreciate it. And once you take out the roadblock completely, the game can spawn the next one. Otherwise, we have to outrun the roadblock for it to despawn, and then the game can spawn the next one. So, second and much faster half of the game coming up.
I was just about to say, I would really like to see you do one of these drag races completely blindfolded.
Oh,
it should be possible.
He got me good there.
Ah, damn.
There was no space, man.
You got trucked, man.
I got trucked. Exactly. Just gonna create a little bit more damage.
Interesting positioning.
Yeah, he was a little bit far out there. Usually he's a lot closer to the others, so I get the chance to take out at least the second one. And yeah, in this chase I wanna just create as much bounty as humanly possible in these 7 minutes. Like, anything close to 1 million is fantastic. You wanna know one thing about Ming's Gallardo?
Sure.
It is one of the cars that actually comes fully upgraded, and that is why this is one of the most viewer-suggested cars for a speedrun, because everyone knows, at least a lot of the community knows, this car is fully upgraded, and they were like, hey, why don't you just pick Ming's Gallardo? It's fully upgraded early on in the game. Well, 2 reasons. The car is actually not that fast, even fully upgraded. But additionally to that, so you see the heat level on my car? It is at heat level 4 right now, so if I would switch to a new car, it would be all the way back to 1, and you would have to rebuild the heat level in order to finish the run. And that would lose you probably 10 minutes or so just to rebuild the heat level 4. And yeah, Ming's Gallardo cannot be that much faster to save 10 minutes in racing time. I feel like the developers had a lot of fun designing this event here. because you take that shortcut and then immediately have to go hard left. You
Yeah.
can see how the NPCs like all crash into the wall. No control whatsoever. And if you do it for the first time, obviously you expect to go down the entirety of prison. You don't expect.
It's quite a
that-
debate because at
Yeah.
that point you've already done the full prison jump several
Exactly.
times.
Like you already know what it looks like and what's gonna
Oop.
happen now. And
There
then,
we
whoop, there's a wall for you. But yeah, I think at this stage we're not fully upgraded yet. We're still gonna get the Junkman engine, the end stage level 3 engine upgrade, or level 4 actually, and gearbox. But you can already see that at this very point we don't really have any troubles anymore with the opponents. Not even on speed trap events. It was mostly in the mid game where that actually becomes a problem. This, in my opinion, was one of the hardest drag races to figure out, where you have like a consistent strategy. You have to swerve all over the place. Like you get really close to that truck, and then we're gonna be crossing over to all the sides. First we're going left here, then we're going back to the right. Then we have that car in our way, back to the left. Then this car is gonna be in the way, back to the right. Like I had many different strategies before I came up with this more consistent one. So yeah, Junkman engine, very, very powerful upgrade. Then we're gonna combine it with the ultimate engine and the ultimate transmission. Now the Golf does a casual 386. Oh, here's a little trick. You speed brake into the speed trap, because if you're extremely fast, usually 300 plus, and you trigger a speed trap, it can happen that the game just puts your car into the ground. The game has a really hard time spawning all the assets in place because you're moving so fast. Then it spawns you straight into the ground and you stop. And the only way to fix it is to speed brake so the game slows down and actually has enough time to do everything. So, one of the things that we do here, you see that we have a heat level of 4 right now, but there's a little bit of trick to this chapter. If you complete 4 events, Razor snitches on you and you get heat level 5 on your car instantly. And this is like one of the bigger time saves because you get an insane amount of bounty on Condition 5 cops. So having the game boost you to heat level 5 first without going through minutes of Condition 4, that alone saves so much time. It's one of the major reasons why this rerouting has been much faster. I think we have pretty good... But one thing you can do, you can activate the speed breaker and look backwards to make sure that you can block them off.
It's again the Clio. Remember earlier when there's like a Clio that pushed you into the truck?
Yeah.
They have it out for you, man.
But yeah, now we have to go here, because we do have to get the spikes. Hey, we found Cross. Let's see if we can take him out with
The combo,
full
yeah.
bounty. No, he refused to get anywhere near.
If you can get Cross with a multiplier that's like 300k,
It is, yeah. Cross is kind of funny in comparison to all the other cars. He doesn't actually drive up to you. He drives close to you, but he won't ram you unless there's some weird situation. He can't really bust you because he actually doesn't even get that close. So yeah, now, honestly, we're just gonna take out the rest of the cops here and cross. Hey, 300k, there we go.
hey, bog.
That is what I meant. Like, you need to have, within a 10-second window, 10 seconds or faster since the last time you killed a cop, you're gonna get the 2x or even 3x multiplier.
You know, there's a bit of a sadist in me that kind of wanted you to get busted there, but I'm still glad you made it through. Still rooting for you.
Hey, no worries, man. We got another chapter here where I can get busted. So very important not to do the boss skip here on Bull. So far you've seen that we've always skipped the bosses by doing the boss skip. If you do it on Bull and you try to skip Razor, the game just crashes. Goes into a soft lock and you're done. Then you're gonna have to redo the entirety of Bull's boss fight, and maybe you lose heat level 2. But basically the game has the mechanic of, if you rage quit, which also counts if your game just crashes, it will lower your heat level. I personally think the developers did that to make it easier for the player when they get back into the game.
But that actually also works on console, because that's something I always did as a kid.
Yep.
And I was like, since I was like sitting a bit away from the PlayStation, like, and I would notice myself getting busted, I was like, okay, I'm getting busted, throw the controller away, just sprint to the console, hit the power button, let's go. Try again. Don't get busted.
Screw this, I'm out. One thing you can actually do just for fun, if you don't want to pick the markers, you can actually do marker skip, kind of like the boss skip.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
do that?
you can just click on the button down there as well.
How did I not know that?
Saving yourself a quarter of a second.
I don't need money. I don't need a pink slip.
Actually, at this point, you actually don't need money, right? Like, you
Yeah,
already have the car fully upgraded. And now we do have all events already glitched. That's what I meant earlier. Like, the lap glitches do carry over to multiple events sometimes, and all the lap glitching that we've done so far glitches the entirety of Razor. The events before you challenge him, and then all the events as you challenge him.
What's really interesting to see is how active the Most Wanted community is, or just generally the community for classic Need for Speed games. Like, it's insane how much so many people still love and play these games and come together to celebrate them, make content about them, mods, speedruns. It just really goes to show how good these games still are, even nowadays.
Yeah, they definitely stood the test of time. Like, so many new games, you just play them, and then you just go on, try to find something else.
I will make the argument that if Most Wanted came out today, we might not hold it to the same standard as we do nowadays, since this game is kind of like, you know, a bit older. Because if you compare it to like other modern racing games, I think nowadays we want more than what Most Wanted offers. But since we just have a bit of an emotional attachment to Most Wanted, and we started expanding it, making content for it, you know, be it speedruns, mods, or whatever it is, it's just much more alive than I think it would be if it came out nowadays. Because on paper, for modern standards, it's kind of bare bones. Like, yeah, you have your multiplayer and you have a career that's really good, you know, with like replayability. If you think about the cops.
Yeah, there are definitely some gameplay elements that you would have to add. In my opinion, like, just a ranked multiplayer would do a lot just for a competitive scene.
Sure.
It's fun to play with people, but you know, once there's a number next to your name, bragging rights, and just getting paired with the stronger players on a consistent basis, it's just, for me personally, as a competitive guy, very, very fun. So this is exactly what we need. We have a quick escape here, sub 2 minutes, and we got 850,000 bounty. Those are both the minimum requirements to unlock Razor. So we're done with the chases. Sorry, Eden, no bust for you tonight.
I'm sad.
So we just need to do one more speed trap to get the necessary amount of milestones, but then we're just gonna do 8 more races, and the Razor is coming up.
But yeah, approaching the end of the run, and the end is actually where you're gonna see the most funky stuff in terms of glitches and whatnot.
True. Out of bounds are gonna be happening. So let's see if I'm fast enough to actually trigger that speed trap here. Nice. So that was the last speed trap that we actually had to do. And it's time for a race against Razor.
You know, one interesting thing to think about, so Razor took your car by sabotaging your engine.
Yeah.
Which means that he would have had to repair the car, right? And I think for an M3 GTR, which is a fairly rare car, that must have been so expensive. I would really like to know where he got that money from.
Alright, here it comes. You ready? That was a pretty fun thing to do. First time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. So here, you can turn around and get out of bounds. This barrier is set very badly. So you can drive between the wall and the barrier, and you can go all around prison. Prison is usually, you know, a winding up slope, really slow. And here you just go around, use all of your NOS in a super nice straight line, accelerate, get up to speed, and cut off, I think 1.5 kilometers to Razor. You can go back in through those barriers. Alright, done with Razor's chapter. He got busted, we got his car. And now, the most impressive glitch really of this game. So yeah, first things first, you gotta hit this wall here. It's a lot easier if you look back and hit the speed breaker. At a certain angle, the car just drives through. You keep on driving for a little bit, the game resets you one time, then you just keep driving here. And now we are, as you can see, on the world map. You gotta be careful to actually follow the road, because the walls do extend under the map, and you will hit them. So here comes the second part. Now we have to hit that rock formation there. Ooh, this actually might work.
I just saw it.
I think it works. Let me try. Yeah, this is good. Okay, that was super. Oh wait, I have no idea what's happening. Give me a second. Maybe we land on it again.
Okay, that's definitely
it looked good for a second. Now we're gonna have to do that again. It looked good for a second, but then the car went airborne. There's so many ways to get this wrong.
Especially, I've never seen that reaction. Like, I've seen this out of bounds several hundred times by now.
Yeah.
That was a new one.
That was different, yeah. I was about to say, that never happened before. Okay, this looks like a better approach already. And so now this is going slide where I need to go. There we go. So this is the angle that we were looking for, because this is the angle that actually allows you to drive all the way to the bridge escape. As you can see, we're even further below the entire world map. If you go high enough, you will see the objects being rendered into the game again. This is just, you know, the drawing distance. But yeah, we gotta stay below the roads, otherwise we go back into bounds too early. And yeah, usually you have to wait 5 minutes for me to call you and let you escape there, but we can not only drive through it, we can drive under it. So yeah, once you see these trees here, you can start braking. Make sure that you have a somewhat smooth entry. And then all we gotta do is drive to the bridge, hit the speed breaker, and get the final jump.
GG.
GG.
I heard you hit your foot pedal there. That you
I
wanted to
did
split.
hit my foot pedal there. That is 100% muscle memory. Like, run is done, you split, you know.
Yeah, GG.
It's deep in your brain. You can't get rid of that. And it's usually always 420,000 bounty. I don't know if you ever noticed that. But yeah, that is Most Wanted. How long did it take? I don't have the timer up.
It was a slight bit of a late split, but 3:52:01, I believe, for the time you went.
Nice. Actually, pretty close to my estimate with all the marathon strats and bad luck. Actually, really bad luck with the cops in the beginning.
Cops were really long.
Anything you guys want to say before we move on and head off towards the future of our marathon? Is there anything that needs doing?
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having us. Big shoutouts to all the Need for Speed and racing game fans out there, my community, Eden's community, Eden, of course, for hanging out with me here for nearly 4 hours. Much appreciate that. And all the good causes you do over all these years. It's still always fun to be here. Thank you so much. Eden, you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, I can only repeat what you said. Big thanks to the Most Wanted community, to ESA for having us, but special shoutouts to Kuru for basically having me and, you know, be his kind of support dude. But also, you know, letting me work full-time with his YouTube channel. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to lots more fun in the future. So yeah, thank you so much.
Cool, thank you.
Guys. Cheers, cheers, cheers. With that, we're going to be jumping away for just a little bit, and then we're going to be moving on to our next run. But yeah, thank you so much indeed, Kuru and Eden, for that great run of Need for Speed Most Wanted. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you very much indeed for all of the support you've been giving. Make sure to keep on supporting ESA and the Alzheimer Fund. We'll see you in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. Thank you.
All right, peace.
Bye.